try to stand these up again. Now this is how I start out with this block of wood. And I'm not a sculptor. A sculptor adds to a woodcarver or stone carver takes away. That's the difference. So that's the first step. Okay, then I'll take a bandsaw and get that out of there. Okay. And then this is another stage. I've done this so often that I've lost some pieces to it. And this is more or less the getting close to the final stage. And he has a shovel in his hand, and when it's through, it will like a fat, yeah.
A little man.
Do you paint them also? Do you paint them as well? You paint them?
Yes, yes.
Look at that. That's a little chin.
It's made it first out of wood. I'm going to show you how to make out of wood. Okay, here's a boot I used to use for demonstrations for kids. Kids used to love it. They picked at my chips. And some Boy Scouts and so I thought, well, one time I'd take some knives. Just be real careful with these knives, boys. You know, they say, okay, we'll be real careful. I was sitting around all of a sudden, I saw some blood dripping on the so I stopped that. Okay, so I take this plain block now. I've got it first. Okay, this is first of it. Saw that with the bandsaw, and then try. I've done this in years, so I think I brought some super glue. Okay, I thought somebody had some. Okay.
Did you tell us what kind of wood that is? Did you already say that and I missed it?
What kind of wood?
What kind of wood?
What kind of wood?
Mass wood. It's a very, it's classified as a hardwood, but it's not hard. The hard and soft, the difference is shape of the leaf. It's very, it cuts like so. That's good. Now this is very hard. It's very old and very hard. So I'm good. Further north, this comes from Canada. The further north you go, the better. I've just seen one basswood tree called lindenwood in Germany. And the only thing I can think of right now are toothpicks. They're made of basswood. Don't ever carve this direction. And this is not a very sharp knife, and I don't want to bore you all with too much of this. But you can see when I cut it how white this wood is. It has no grain, and that's the advantage to basswood. And of course I make the one of the roof. And I don't work on one side, I keep working on the other side, or it will come out crooked.
Okay, you're making me nervous here. He did discover that super glue really does work on cuts. The doctor told him that was okay. He uses it too.
I used it this week. I don't carve anymore, but most of the carvings were sold 40 years ago, and they're starting to break. People are using the dogs. Some people don't care for them. one man bought one, he didn't want to work, he bought it at a garage sale, where they, toward the end of the garage sale, they threw everything in the basket, all at once. So he bought one of the carvings. Right, $5. Okay, let me go. Okay, now this book is carved alive. It's and you can put more on the put the sole in. You just bring it up like that. One of the foundries, I had a boot on a bed, under a bed. The man had taken off his boot, like that, flat, and they made a mistake. So they thought, well, that might look good as a necklace. So it was from this piece. They brought it, made it silver necklace and bronze. We used to give these away at charities, but they started calling them pewter. And the silver in here is about $200. Auction as a silver, that's a pewter.
I like one in wood. I'm good with wood. Can we bid on your stuff?
Yes, yes. We'll do that later. I'm going to get 3 posters and I'll use the money for it.
Cool.
Okay,
Let me check about how much time do we have?
We're going to take as much time as,
All right.
I won't take long. I won't take long.
especially when a man
I will let you come up and look at this because you can't all see. Of course, you can see some of these things here. This is a demonstration of the lost wax process. When I stopped carving, I started casting my pieces in bronze. I paint them so you can hardly tell the difference until you pick one up. Okay, let me just briefly explain. This is original suitcase. This is a wax. I don't have the mold here, but I'll show you some other molds. So you take the wax and you add to it. This is going to be a funnel. Now you let me know if you don't follow this kind of hard. I'm going to use the funnel later. Okay. So then you start coating this. They call it a slurry, and they dip it for weeks maybe. One let it dry, and it's very expensive, labor-wise. And they put spews in it. You have to figure out where the air will go out, or else you'll have a big bubble. And then you keep building it up to like this, and this will take like 2,000 degrees heat to heat the bronze. They pour that out, and then they break it apart with the hammer or whatever. So it's a pretty vital process, okay? And I have some of here's the mold they made of the raffle. Here's a mold that they made the tabletop. Did I not bring the dog? No, I guess I didn't bring it. Okay, now. Okay, sometimes people ask me, and kind of irritates me, how long did it take you? Most artists, well, it took me, how old? I'm 80 years old. At least 50 years. This piece, this airplane, I flew it here, Army here, it's observer plane. Okay, I had the idea, and made it in clay. It's all super deep. So, it's a very rough model of what I wanted to do. I thought I couldn't figure out how to do an airplane without hanging in the air, so it would be very corny. And so I had one crash. It's an exaggeration if I knew a pilot who did this. He ran out of gas. So, yeah, these are. You come and look at this closer. Horace Brandenburger, I tried to get his wife to June to come, but he trained the same place I did. So he may have some stories just like that if you were here. Well, that's the evolution of the plane. Let y'all look at it at your time, your leisure. But who's an auctioneer in these pieces? On the auction, who's an auctioneer? Bonnie? Where'd she go?
Maybe we ought to do it with a silent auction, or you think it's better to do it first?
Oh, I think that'd take too long. Besides, you got the momentum of an auction. In case as a preacher, you could be all right.
Yeah.
You softened up for today.
This is that dog.
Oh, it is the wonder dog.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
dog.
And what the dog is in. Dude, this is the mold for the dog. I didn't realize how hard it was to get apart. I'm afraid I couldn't get back together. Because these are, okay, let me tell you this, but you can read it after. This part, the lost wax process has been around about at least 6,000 years, it's nothing new. But later, that was one-on-one. The original was lost. So now, they make the rubber mold so that you can make as many as you want to in the same piece. That's the difference. I'm gonna leave some cards out here. Got lots of cards. So help yourself to the cards. I'll leave those somewhere. You can come by and pick one back. Don't be afraid to take them. They paid me in cards instead of money. And I got hundreds, thousands of them. They're not, most of them do not have the same, but you can write your own. And there are envelopes too in one of the boxes. So y'all be free to do that. See. Who's going to do the auctioneer? You give it, well, you auction 3 pieces off more than that, you do.
I
Well, you need
claim
one.
to be a number of things, but an
Well,
auctioneer.
you sounded like you would be good.
Well, why don't you get it?
Incidentally, is anybody, is that your hobby, one of your hobbies is being an auctioneer? Anybody? Yeah. Who? Brian. Would Brian step forward? We got a real one here. We got a real live auctioneer. And then we just have to establish a starting bid, so.
Tell us how many you have of these now. How many of these do you have?
I'm the only one in the world that has these original. There are a few, you can find some on eBay, but they're usually weather beaten. Their print failed, and they'll give it a condition. They're not mint condition. We make a royalty on these, so we got money out of these. The cards, they paid me in cards, but they were good publicity. So.
But you've got what, 4 posters?
You got 4
Yeah,
posters?
4 posters.
You got 4 posters, they're all different, right?
Right.
Okay, we got 4 posters, they're all different. 2 of one kind, and then there will be...
Wait a minute, there'll be 3. Well, we can get 2 of these.
Starting with this one. I put all my profit back into my ranch, improvements, as you can tell. It looks like a Texas ranch. Can somebody give me a starting bid? You walk it around.
25.
I got $25. 25. Can I hear 30? $30.
35.
$35. Got $35. Do I hear 40?
40.
$40. Got $40. Do I hear 45? $45. Come on, I can do better than $45. Do I hear 45? 40 going once. 40 going twice. $45. All right, do I hear 50? 50. Do I hear $50? 50. $50. $55. $55. Do we have 50? We got $60. Do I hear $60? $60. $60. 55 going once. 55 going twice. Sold for 55.
Monty Cedar.
Monty Cedar. Monty Cedar.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, I sure like that one. I can relate to it.
There's two of these the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
Bonnie,
Okay.
Bonnie, can you hold that up?
Okay.
Thank you.
Now he stole that one for next to nothing, being these sell for around $100 a piece.
Now, that's a real auctioneer.
Well, I mean, I just found out he sells these for $100. So this man over here just stole this one for dirt cheap. Reckon we'll just have to tighten our belts. Well, I've met this cowboy. I think he works in West Texas because there ain't nothing out there but sand anyway. Okay, I hear an opening bid on this one. $50. $50. Here, do I hear 55? Do I hear 55?
We can't see it back here.
I'm sorry. My person that was walking around wandered off. Some good help.
All right, here we go.
Be out the baby ball.
Now, you know what? Give me a minute here so I can let everybody see it.
Okay. He's saying Leon Finetti bought the real piece of this. And this one here is going for, I heard a bid of $50. Do I hear $60? $60. Do I hear $60? $60. Do I hear at least hear 55? Do I hear 55? 50 going once. Going twice. Sold for $50.
Gary Fitzsimon.
Keep it up, sir.
Gary Fitzsimon.
Okay. Gary Fitzsimon.
See if I have some different ones.
Okay. What is called?
Get him to sign it before you leave.
I have my glasses on.
Oh, he's leaving.
No, he's coming back.
Yeah, y'all heard his feelings and stuff that's going on. Replenishment is mine, isn't built overnight.
Reputation.
Reputation, I'm sorry, see I can't even
Like
read.
mine isn't built overnight.
Yeah. Well, I need the glasses too. The bum from the corner. I hear 50.
55.
55. Do I hear 60?
60.
Okay, $60. I hear $60. Do I hear 65?
70.
65. $70. I got $70. Do I hear 75? I got 75. I got 75. Do I hear 80? Do I hear 80?
80.
$80. 85. 85. All right, $90. Do I hear $90? $90.
Well, where am I? Am I at 85 or what am I
You're
doing?
at 85.
Huh?
You're
I'm
at
at 85. Well, then,
You're at 85.
yeah. I'll stay at 85.
Okay, 85. Do I hear 90? Do I hear $90? $90. I hear $90 now. Do I hear 95? Do I hear 95?
You already got 90?
Yeah, he just coughs up 90.
It's a printing thing.
How bad do you want it?
I want it. The printing work.
I got $90. Do I hear 95?
95.
95. All right, $95. Got 95. Do I hear 100? Do I hear 100?
No, we're only doing $5 increments. $95 and
95 going once. 95 going twice. Sold for $95. And here's the saddest part of all, he didn't even want it. Just drive you up.
But you know what? I've been known to do the very same thing, and that's what we need in a group like this. So I'm very proud of this. I'll tell you what. I've seen a lot of his work, and you know, for some reason I can relate to this one.
I was going to mention that. Get up, Red.
The truth is the truth.
Oh, we found another one.
I'm excited.
At least we started getting somewhere. I got 95
Where's
for
my
that.
mommy? Hold on to this, mommy.
It's about time, right?
Oh man. An ounce of nerve is worth a pound of skill.
Yeah, it's like a lot of us in life. You know, if we got enough nerve, we can buffalo through almost anything. All right, do I hear $50?
$50.
$50. I got 50. Do I hear 55? 55.
55.
I got $55. Do I hear 60? Do I hear 60? $60. These things go for $100 a pop. Do I hear 60? I got $60 right here. Do I hear 65? 65. I got 65. Do I hear 70? Do I hear 70? 65. Do I hear 70? Do I hear 70? Oh, he doesn't want to buy the thing. He just wants a picture. Do I hear 70?
70.
I got $70. $70. Do I hear 75?
75.
75. I got 75. Do I hear 80? Do I hear 80? Once in a lifetime type thing. I got 80. Do I hear 80? 75.
I bet we could get him.
80. I got 80. Do I hear 85? 85. Do I got 80?
This lady said 1,000 if he signs it. Ain't that what you say? Ain't that what you say? Oh, excuse me, I misunderstood.
I got 80. Do I hear 85? Do I hear 85? 80 going once, going twice, sold for $80.
Love that one. That was a great one. Oh, good.
Did we sell that? Not yet. It's the last one to go.
Oh, maybe this is my favorite. Reckon we'll just have to tighten our belts.
Yeah, well, tighten our belt. Well, same thing as I pull my pants up. Start just, this is just like one of the other ones. Tighten the belt. The old farmers on the ranch. I hear 50. Do I hear 50? Got 50. 55. Got 55. Do I hear 60? Do I hear 60? 60. Do I hear 65? 65. 65. Got 65. Do I hear 70? 70. Do I hear 70? Got 65. Do I hear 70? $70. Got 70. Do I hear 75? 75. Do I hear 80? Got 80. 75. Do I hear 80? Do I hear 80? This is the last one of the day. Do I hear 80?
Hold on, we're not through showing it.
Well, they better hurry up. I got $80.
She's got the same thing as a lot of other McDougalls.
Oh, $80. I've got $80. Do I hear 85? Do I hear 85? I got 80. Do I hear 85? These things go for $100. Part of the family. I've got 80. Do I hear 85? 80. Going once.
Make sure they understand, this is for the McDougall, it's not for me.
I know.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this is just for the helping to raise some money for the reunions. And but these also are a special thing that he sells for $100 a pop. So I got 80. And going once. 85. 85. Got 85. Got 85. Do I hear 90? Do I hear 90? 85. Do I hear 90? 85. Going once. Going twice. $90. I got $90. $95. $95. 100. We got 100. 100. Do I hear 105? Do I hear 105? 105. 105. 105. Do I hear 110? 110. 110. I've got 105. 110. 105. Going once. Going twice. Sold for 105. Thank you so much.
I knew you came from all the way from California for some good reason.
Yeah, something. And like I said, the best deal of the day was the man that stole it. He knew what he was getting right off the beginning. Thank y'all so much.
I just want to turn it off. I just want to give a hand to our fantastic auctioneer. You did an excellent job. Thank you. The family thanks you. Mr. Zesch, you want to wrap it up and then we'll move on to something else?
I was just going to tell anybody that wants to see into this, come closer and I can explain anything you want to hear.
Oh, isn't he great? You know, everybody has something in the Smithsonian. No big deal.
No big deal.
Okay, that was enjoyable. Now our second speaker is our loyal, resourceful, hardworking, talented cousin Kurt Ewald. I think I can best introduce his topic by relating to a very short true story. My mom and Kurt and I were having dinner in Seguin one evening not long ago, and while we were visiting, I asked him what he did for a living. Well, he does more than one thing, but he piqued my interest while telling me about one of them. He said he was a caretaker for two different gentlemen in their 90s. He showed me a photo of one of them on his phone, and I said, well, that's a distinguished looking gentleman. And then he showed me the second gentleman, and I said, well, that looks just like George Bush. Former President George H.W. Bush, that is. And he said calmly, it is. I said, what? You take care of a former president of the United States? He said, yes, I do. And I said, yeah, and I babysit Hillary Clinton. But come on, you know, come on, yeah, you gotta be gagging me. But anyway, he's got some interesting things to tell us.
Oh, the first thing I'm going to do, I talked to my cousin Laura. She's going to be the Vanna White. I've got some portfolios I went ahead and did up of some of the people that I've met through working with President Bush the past 7 months. And so I'm going to have her come up. She's coming right behind me. She says she's not as skinny as Vanna, but she's beautiful. So
yes, she is.
Yeah, that's her husband, the camera guy. He can vouch. Hey, you have to use the edit. She's not much older than I am, so she's not older. I I know I'm not off to a good start, am I? Wait till I start telling stories about Mrs. Bush. I'll really get in trouble. But way I know I've had people ask, well, how in the world did that happen? And let me tell you, I didn't go looking for it or anything. Happened to several years ago, I happened to work as an administrative assistant, just doing secretarial type of work for an electric company in Houston. And pretty much started on a little post-it note. I was trying to decide, I'm about to approach my 10th year of being here. Is this what I want to continue doing? And I thought, you know what are some things that I want to learn to do? And well, obviously I didn't put down that I wanted to work for a former U.S. president. That obviously was the furthest thing from my mind. But one of the things that I put on there was massage therapy. And so, which, if anyone knows President Bush's condition with Parkinson's and stuff, his legs, he enjoys thoroughly just having his legs worked out and stretched. And so the way that I accidentally got into senior care, because I wasn't hired as a massage therapist to work for him, I ended up getting into that by accident. I was doing massage therapy in Houston for 3 years, and I had a little 89-year-old man who came in to the place where I worked. It's called Massage Heights in Houston, and someone came back. I was on my break, and they said, we have an 89-year-old gentleman, or an elderly gentleman up front. He's got some questions, and you're the only therapist who's on a break. Everybody else is busy giving a massage. So I went up front, answered his questions, and to make a short story, we went ahead and he was looking for a second person to help drive him to doctor's appointments and take him on errands to the grocery stores and stuff. Anyway, I was with him for 2.5 years. He was an engineer in Houston, and from there we went and worked for his business partner, another engineer, for 3 months before he passed away. And it was through him that we went through to his brother-in-law, who I still work for. He'll be 91 next week, but his name is Mr. Horlock. And
say that again?
Mr. Horlock, H-O-R-L-O-C-K. Well, Mr. Horlock's daughter just so happens to work in the Houston office for President George H.W. Bush. So that's she referred to or asked me if I'd be interested in working for President Bush, and I said, sure, sign me up. And so, fortunately, I passed the background check that the Secret Service did. And one of the things, before I get started, one of the things we did that they were doing at President Bush's house is that we used this little thing. It's kind of like a door chime that they were using. It comes in extremely handy. You kind of pick up good ideas, when you work with different clients or patients and stuff. And so this was one that I picked up. They had the button, they had it taped to a book similar to this. I went ahead and, kind of did a similar thing that they have at the house in Houston. And this is the tune that he uses, that President Bush uses whenever he needs assistance, is he'll push this button right here. And that's what we hear. We hear that tune anytime he needs assistance. Whether it's something to drink or whether he needs to, once he's ready to go upstairs to go to bed, he'll just hit this button right here. And so sometimes we go to sleep with that embedded into our mind. And especially when you are asleep, we sleep in one of the guest bedrooms. And so to be, I don't know if this is even, it's turned up all the way, but believe me, when it's sound, peace and quiet, and you're asleep and you hear that sound, believe me, you jump out of bed, you rush down the hallway, check to see what he needs assistance with. But I made these little portfolios just to pass by. I'm going to pass them on this side. I have one for each side of the pavilion. And Laura's going to pass these out for me. So I'm going to start off obviously with President Bush, and then of course everybody knows who they are, at least the older generation. Some of the younger ones, when they think of Bush, they think of Bush, George W. But so maybe they may not be familiar with Herbert Walker.
Some may say George Washington.
George Washington. That's true. But and then this is one for Barbara Bush. So we'll pass those around too. Now the first person who I got a call from happened to be President Bush's personal aide at the time, and I'll hold this up for the camera. His name is Coleman LaPointe, a young fellow. I think he's about 25 or 26 now. He's transferred and he's working with Jeb Bush, campaigning and such. But on the back side, this is Barbara Bush's, Mrs. Bush's personal aide, and her name is Catherine Branch. Now, I got confused. One morning, President Bush asked, he says, he heard someone's voice, he says, "Is that Olive?" And I said, "No, sir, it's Catherine." And he said, "Oh, no, that's Olive." I said, "Okay." So, come to find out, he nicknamed her Olive because of her last name being Branch, Olive Branch. So, there you go. Comes up with little nicknames. So, I'll pass this around, or have Laura pass those around for you. And then over Catherine and over Coleman LaPointe is the Chief of Staff who works at the office in Houston, and then she also moves up to Maine during those months. This is Jean Becker, is her name. And so I'll go ahead and let you pass these around. Now I wanted to bring attention to, there's one lady, she has been working for the Bushes since 1959. She still helps clean house and stuff for them in Houston, and then she also moves up to Maine. And this is her on the front side. She is 93 years old, and she still wants to go in the house. She doesn't do the hard, tough cleaning like changing the bed. She has her 73-year-old daughter who does that. So, right, exactly. So there's no excuse when you see people standing on the corner and wanting free handouts. It's like, you know, there's people who 93-year-old can get out and still, and they've offered a few times. They said, "No, we'll pay you. You stay home and retire." And she says, "No, if you're going to pay me, I'm going to come in and work." And so that is this little lady. Her name is Paula. She mostly just speaks Spanish, and she knows a little bit of English, but she's a very sweet lady. So I wanted to recognize her because she's been with the Bushes for a long, long time. This is her daughter on the back side, the one who's 73, and her name is Alicia. So I'll have Laura pass these around. But they come in 5 days a week and clean house and change the sheets whenever they need to be changed. Now, one of my first experiences, the very first time I started, my very first day on the job was on October the 23rd, and what they do, they have a little printout of the daily activities for that day. One of the things on that very first day that they had planned was a CIA briefing. And so I didn't get to, of course, sit in on that. I sat in the kitchen, and they kind of closed off the kitchen doors, but they had like 7 people who work with the CIA go in and meet with them and stuff. And we also, at that same day, it was a busy day, we ended up doing a doctor's checkup appointment, and being in the motorcade is so interesting. I mean, you have the agents, you're kind of nervous. You're like, "Oh man, I hope I'm doing everything right." But you know, after time, you get to know the guys. They're just regular family guys. They have children and wives, and you know, they're really great people and stuff. So you don't have to be intimidated, by them and stuff. But one thing, if you ever do see the Bushes out at dinner or something, or the protocol is to go to the table where the agent is first, because we would have some people who would try to go to the table and interrupt them while they're eating, and that's a no-no. But you know, you want to go and just ask the agents, and they'll usually say, well, you want to wait after you see us get to ready to leave, you can kind of come up and ask. And so that's the proper protocol, is to ask the agents or wait till they're finished eating, and then you can go up and ask to have their picture. And they're more than generous to have their picture taken with you. But this next week, my second week on the job, I usually spent on average about over 35 hours each week over the course from October the 23rd through last Saturday morning is when I left their house. And then they flew up to Maine on Monday. But the second week that I worked for them, we happened to meet, see if anybody can see, if anybody recognizes him. Of course, you see the name at the top. But James Baker, yeah, he actually had some property down close to Dilley, which is where I'm originally from. And so I had a chance, there were like 2 or 3 times I met him, and so I had a chance one of those times to, I said, do you know where, Dilley or Pearsall is? And he said, yeah, I've got property down there, I've got about 4,000 acres. And I said, yes, sir, I remember hearing, he had some land down there. Real friendly fella. His wife was with him one time, and she came up to me afterwards. She said, well, I heard that we have something in common. You're from Dilley. I said, yes, ma'am. Real down-to-earth people. But he was the 61st U.S. Secretary of the State, and he served from 1989 to 1992. But I'll go ahead and pass this around. So we met with him on Halloween, on October 31st, at the Bayou Club. Now, I had never been to the Bayou Club. That was my first time. But we also were meeting with this fellow who flew in from Mexico. And he was a former president of Mexico, Carlos Salinas. And he was the 53rd president between 1988 and 1994. So I'll go ahead and pass that around. Thank you. And also, so I was with him on Halloween. Here's a picture that I have. I was able to get a picture. Some of the kitchen staff were coming out to get their picture taken with, primarily they were from Mexico, some of them, so they wanted to get their picture with President Salinas, and so they did a group picture with both presidents and Secretary Baker. And so then I asked, I said, is it okay if I get my picture taken? And so I'll pass that around to y'all so y'all can see that picture. Another time we met at the Bayou Club. See if y'all recognize this face. This is, his last name is Gates, Bob Gates or Robert Gates. So, and he was the 22nd U.S. Secretary of Defense. So I'll go ahead and pass that around. And I was completely not familiar with all of obviously everyone knows who George W. is. Can anyone name any of the other children of the Bushes? Does anyone know? Neil, Barbara. Now Jenna's granddaughter.
Dorsey?
Yes, and for short they call her Doro. For short. So yeah, you've got those, and so y'all knew Neil. So he's the one who lives in Houston. He lives right across the street with his second wife, Maria. This is a picture of them, of Neil and Maria. And so I'll pass that around. Now, the first time I met them, and also met Neil's son from his first marriage, his name is Pierce. He was 28. I don't know if he's had a birthday since then. And this is a picture of him with his 2 sisters. And so I'll pass this around. But there was a funny story of what happened. I was with him on Thanksgiving, and they actually invited me to sit at the table with them, which was really nice of them to do. And Neil he opened up in prayer, and then we ate lunch. And while we were eating Thanksgiving lunch, the 28-year-old grandson Pierce, he refers to Mr. and Mrs. Bush as Ganny and Gampy. Ganny and Gampy. And what was interesting is that Pierce, he had asked Mrs. Bush, he says, Ganny, he said, and he was referring to the first time that the Thanksgiving was held on the 4th Thursday of November. But the way he worded it, he says, Ganny, do you and Gampy, y'all remember the first Thanksgiving? So, Mrs. Bush, of course, she has kind of like a dry sense of humor, but the way she tells it, but she said, well, Pierce, no, we don't remember the first Thanksgiving. She said the Pilgrims would. And he says, no, Ganny. He says, and then he goes on to explain, and what happened, it happened under President Roosevelt, is when that bill was signed into place, that the 4th Thursday of November would be Thanksgiving. So, and I was able to get a picture of with myself and President Bush. So, now, do y'all remember? Well, I won't get ahead of myself yet. Does anyone know what JEBS, the JEB, stands for? I didn't know this until I kind of began researching it. Does anyone know his full name? The J stands for John and Jeb. The J stands for John, E, Ellis, and then B for Bush. John Ellis Bush, and so they just call him Jeb. And so, I know, you learned something new. I didn't know that either. There were 3 different times that he had come to the house in Houston while I was on duty. Now he may have come, other times, when some of the other residential aides were on duty, but the time that he came on December the 4th, and I remember at that point in time he had not decided, that he was going to run yet. He was still trying to make a decision at that point. But by January 29th, he came in, and I happened to be on duty, and they ended up having a reception at, and does anyone know the name Kinder? K-I-N-D-E-R? Child? Richard Kinder?
Kinder Morgan?
Kinder Morgan, yes. Are you familiar with Kinder Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, some of you are. Well, he was the one who is heading up the fundraising. This is a picture of Richard and his wife Nancy, and his net worth is $11.8 billion. He's the 41st richest American citizen, and so that just means that there's 40 other people, U.S. citizens, who are worth more than $11.8 billion. So, but Nancy is the second wife. Before that, she used to be his secretary. So, anyway, I'll pass that around. Right? And so Jeb, 2 different times that he went there. The first time was on January the 29th, and it was just incredible. The house, it was obviously if anyone is familiar with Houston, the River Oaks area. And so we kind of pulled this house up on the Harris County Appraisal District just to see what it was appraised at, and it was worth 13.5 or above million, so over 13.5 million. So huge house, nice and stuff, of course. And they had probably about 85 people or so, and they were there to let Jeb speak, and he kind of did a presentation, and then they asked questions, afterwards. So that was kind of like his introductory. But he had already been to Dallas earlier that day, and then from there he was going to go to San Antonio and speak to another group for fundraising. But the next morning is when Mitt Romney, dropped out. So I thought that was interesting. Then on March 26th, he came back, and I happened to be on duty at the time for that one as well. We went back to Richard Kinder's house, and they had at least 50 people who were there for dinner, fundraising dinner. And in order to get into the dinner, you had to have, give $100,000. So that would have marked me out. But they had little box lunches for us in another room. So I didn't actually get to see what they served, but yeah, no $100,000 meal for me. No, thank you. But so that was my experience with Jeb. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Let me get a picture of Jeff here. I'm sure everybody knows what he looks like since he's on TV so much now. Kind of didn't get these in order back. Sorry about that. You know what? We'll skip over the Jeff picture. Oh, there it is. Found it. But here's just a little short profile on Jeb. And Jeb. So here we go. Now this next story, it was quite an embarrassing story. I almost thought I was going to get fired for it, and I would not have blamed them for firing me. We were at a funeral, and after the funeral, we went to the house. We were going to change wardrobes, and then we ended up going and meeting someone for lunch. And so we were, time was of the essence. It was just, I knew I was going to have to, get him up to the second floor and help get another set of clothes on. And during that time, I saw that there was something I needed. I took to the laundry room, put it in one of those industrial sinks, and turned on the water and said, "Okay, let me go back to go back and help President Bush get ready for the lunch appointment." Well, in the meantime, while I was doing such a wonderful job, I was going to be on a good time and everything. We were going to get to lunch just on time. While that was going on, while I was doing such a wonderful job, Mrs. Bush all of a sudden sees water coming to from the second floor to the first floor in the kitchen. There's water coming from the ceiling. She goes outside. She goes, "Help! Help!" And she calls for the Secret Service to come and assist her. And they get inside. They find that there's water coming down from the second floor into the kitchen. Next thing I know, I'm, have President Bush ready to go, and I wheel him out of the master bedroom and see that there's an agent, and they never come into the house. It's very seldom that they'll come into the house unless they're needed. Well, they were needed. So here he was, and I saw him, and then it clicked. I said, "Oh my goodness, I left the sink running." The sink had filled up, the water overflowed, went down to the second floor, started leaking. And Mrs. Bush happened to be downstairs and saw it, and just understandably went into a panic, because that night, 5 hours from then, she was going to have between 85 and 90 people in her home for a literacy fundraising celebration type of thing. And so, one of her reading receptions. And so, needless to say, we got into the elevator on the second floor. We were heading down to the kitchen. And let me tell you, time flies by, and you're thinking, I just know Mrs. Bush is going to say, "Have him escorted to the road and he can never come back." I just knew I was going to be escorted off of the property. And but that didn't happen. And the other thing, I thought, otherwise she's going to escort me herself. She's going to grab me by the ear and just escort me to the outside of the premises and say, "Never come back." But we got to the bottom, to the first floor, and opened the door, and there was Mrs. Bush and two agents, and there were about 2 or 3 bath towels soaked with water. And I just was like, I was beyond embarrassed, and I just knew I was in trouble. And the only thing I could say, I was pushing President Bush out of the elevator. I saw Mrs. Bush. All of a sudden, I saw the agents just kind of leave the room. I said, "Oh my goodness, this is going to be really bad." And so I say to Mrs. Bush, I said, "I am so sorry." And all she simply said, she never brought it up again, she said, well, you should be. So, but that was it. I just knew it. Had there been any damage to the sling, I just knew that I was gonna be working for the Bushes for free, come out of my paycheck to make all the repairs. But
What were you washing in the sink?
There was just something that I saw that was soiled and stuff, so I was trying to do that. But
I know the story.
yeah, some of the details, but some of the dirty details. But anyway. Then, do y'all remember, like, you probably saw it in the news and stuff, during Christmas time? Y'all remember seeing President Bush in the news during that time? During December, he was in the hospital. Yeah. They had plans to go for 5 days to Florida on vacation. And obviously, that got canceled for that year, but I happened to go in from December the 24th. I was with him for 3 nights, stayed in the room with him and stuff to help him out. But during that time, Mrs. Bush would come up during the day, and so we went down to the cafeteria. This is a couple of pictures. The guy had a little bit of difficulty using my phone to take a picture, but one thing I also learned is that the Secret Service agents, sometimes people would ask them, "Oh, well, can you take the picture?" And they said no, because they need to be on watch at all times. And so if one of the residential aides are with them, then we can offer, to take the picture for the person that wants to get taken. But we also, thank you, I almost forgot about that. We also ended up getting one of the George W.'s books. It was signed by him, and then President Bush 43 signed it. And then Mrs. Bush signed it as well. And so I made a copy of the signatures and to fit with this profile. This is where I'll introduce, I mentioned that Coleman, he started working for Jeb. This is just a profile. He was a residential aide, and I guess they felt like, they offered him the position as a personal aide for President Bush, so he's over us now. His name is Evan. And so then we've had interesting guests. We had one princess from Kuwait who came by the residence for a few minutes to visit. And I'm just going by the days that I work, because we don't know what's on the schedule until the morning we show up. And so. And then another day we had this fellow. He is an emir of Qatar. And so, Qatar, there you go, Qatar. Thank you. And so I happened to be on duty that day that he came by the house to visit. And then there was, we went one day up to, there's been a couple times I was with them, we went up to College Station. They had the George Bush Library. And on the second floor, connected to the library, they have a really nice apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. And so, thank you. And so we got to meet this fellow. His name is Ryan Crocker is his name. Yeah, he was U.S. ambassador to several countries in the Middle East. And so I'll go ahead and pass this around. And while we were there, there was another guy who's going to be speaking at the college, and he works. Has anybody heard of Google? There's another branch of Google. Nobody's heard of Google. There's another. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and put those underneath. Or can you help us? Thank you. Can you place them under there or something? But he's a young fellow. I think he was like 30, 31, something like that. His name is Jared Cohen, but what was so funny is that Mrs. Bush, after he visited with him and stuff, he went ahead and took, they got their picture taken with him and stuff. And I'll go ahead and give this to Laura. the funny story is what happened with him is while he was, after they took the pictures and everything, Mrs. Bush talked about how people, whenever she takes, they have two little dogs. I wish I would have thought of making a picture of them, but they have BB and Minnie. And so, and Minnie, she's a tough cookie. She has bitten President Bush 3 times in the middle of the night on his right hand. And it's always the right hand because he's reaching over for a Kleenex. And she's a white little puffy dog. And my conclusion is this, is that he feels something soft and tugs on it. He gets his hand bitten. So we've had to bandage his hand up, 3 times, at least while we were on duty. So about what happened with the College Station with Jared, the young fella that y'all are looking at the picture that's being passed, he's into all the technology, and he told Mrs. Bush, because she said when she takes the 2 dogs to the dog park to go walking, she always has people who come up and to get a selfie. And how many of y'all know what a selfie is? You've heard that terminology. What a selfie is means that everybody has phones nowadays that have a camera on it. And so what they do this thing and take a picture of themselves with whomever they're trying to get a picture with. That's called a selfie, taking a picture of yourself. So they now have what they call a selfie stick. So how many of y'all have heard of selfie sticks? How many of y'all have a selfie stick? Nobody has a selfie stick. So what that does is that it gives you an extra extension so you can hold it further away and you can get a better, fuller picture of everybody in the picture. But he asked Mrs. Bush if she had a selfie stick, and she says no. He said, well, Mrs. Bush, he said, don't get one. Let me get one for you. And he says, you'll have that selfie stick at the park. He says, you'll be the most popular person at the park. And she kind of looks up to him and she says, well, I'm already the most popular person. Which is why everybody comes up to me to get their picture taken. So she's really a hoot. Yeah, she is a hoot. During Christmas, there was sickness going around, coughing, and several times I heard President Bush say this expression. I don't know if any of y'all have heard it. He said after he coughed, a few times, he said after he finished coughing, he said, it's not the cough that carries you off, it's the coffin they carry you off. And so we heard it so many times that we just kind of, obviously I've memorized it. But while we were in College Station with Jared, I was able to fortunately get my picture taken, and this is one that they went ahead and signed, and this is the full-size picture that actually got taken with the flags in the background. But I'll go ahead and pass this around. And has anyone heard of Woody Johnson? Has anyone heard of the New York Jets? New York Jets? Okay. This is, his real name is Robert Wood Johnson IV, but he goes by Woody. And he owns the New York Jets. His net worth is $3.5 billion. And his great-grandfather, if y'all have ever heard of Johnson & Johnson, anybody? His great-grandfather was, I think, Robert Wood Johnson. Obviously, the who named first. But I'll pass his profile around. Another thing we got to go do, I was on duty at the time. We went to, has anyone heard of the Houston Shell Open?
Yes.
All right, I was with them on that, and they had lunch with this fellow, someone by the name of some guy who carries a stick and hits a ball as far as he can. Anyway, Phil Mickelson, anybody? So, yeah, Phil Mickelson, we got to see him up close. So, I'll pass that around, and go if you want to take this too. Okay. These are pictures that I took while I was there with them. A couple of pictures while they were in the cart, President and Mrs. Bush in front of the shell. And even though I never met with, got to see George W., one of the other residential aides was on duty at the time that he met him. But I did get to meet Jenna. If anybody knows, or you mentioned Jenna earlier. That's their youngest fraternal twin daughter. And I think her husband has something to do with NBC. Anyway, they came one morning early and set up the cameras and stuff. And she went ahead and kind of like did a little interview, I think in preparation for, when, President Bush, passes away. And I don't think he realized that that's what it was for, but from what I heard, that's what it was in regards for. They're getting, just in case something ever happens, they'll have an interview with him, then with Jenna. So, and on that same day that Jenna came later that afternoon, we ended up, is something called Daily Mail. And we went to the River Oaks tennis tournament at the River Oaks Country Club. And somehow ended up, even though without name, there's my picture ended up in this paper and then also in the Houston Chronicle. So it was kind of a neat little thing. I was making a weird face because I was kind of had my brows raised and I was looking in the distance at all the clouds, and sure enough we ended up getting rained out. But that's why I have such a weird expression, but at least I wasn't doing this number or picking my nose or something. But here's the Houston Chronicle. A friend shared it with me on Facebook. I didn't even know it ended up in the Houston Chronicle until they saw me in it. But and then they had never heard of this side of the family, the Ellis family, which is where Jed gets his middle name from, Ellis. But they call him, he's Alexander Ellis III. They call him Hap, or short for Happy, I guess. But he was real nice. He was a nephew to George H.W., or first cousin of George W. But he was a nice fella. And then the last little picture that I want to show is this one. And you'll notice how big President Bush's smile is, but he's holding a specific a framed letter. I was able to get the office to do up a letter from, in recognition of our 90th McDougall Reunion, and I would like for Bonnie to come up, and I would like to give that to her, but got that right here.
I'll read it.
Yes, you are. I'm going to hand this to you. And we'll look with the mic.
It says, Barbara and I send greetings to all the descendants of Johanna and Alexander McDougall who are gathered for the family's 90th consecutive annual reunion. Wow. The years go by all too quickly, so gatherings such as yours are a wonderful opportunity to renew family ties and relive those magic moments in your past that are so dear to you now. That you gather annually is a marvelous testament to deep love and respect you feel for each other. Indeed, it is inspirational. Barbara and I send warmest wishes for another memorable celebration, and we salute you for your commitment to keeping alive the importance of strong family ties. Excuse me. Didn't know I was going to do that. The importance of strong family ties. All the best, George Bush.
I was trying to get this on my computer to play well, and my phone actually does a better job of playing this. And if I have to, I'll play it, a second, 2 or 3 times. It's just a short 15-second thing. This is from Mrs. Bush. I'll see if it picks up. So let me make sure the volume is turned up. And are you able to also?
Congratulations to all the people. We wish you a great 90th reunion, and we're thrilled you're keeping the family alive and active and together. That's very important. God bless you.
And I'll play that one more time.
Congratulations to all the McDougalls. We wish you a great 90th reunion, and we're thrilled you're keeping the family alive and active and together. That's very important. God bless you.
Little Minnie had to jump in at the end, and then President Bush also. I wanted to let me get his set up right here, and I'll play it twice as well, so everyone can hear it.
Reunion to all of the McDougalls. This is a significant milestone, and we're very proud of you all. Keep it going.
And I'll play that one more time.
Reunion to all of the McDougalls. This is a significant milestone, and we're very proud of you all. Keep it going.
And just a reminder, we do have a cup that they signed. If you want to look at the videos, you won't be able to hear what's being said on my computer. The volume is just not loud enough, but I can go ahead and put it like on a loop, and you can kind of watch. She's holding the McDougall cup that they signed over there, and then he's holding the letter whenever he's speaking. So. But I have that on my phone and then also on my computer if y'all are interested in seeing the footage of it. So. I'm gonna, yes. I didn't want to do it ahead of time. I wanted to wait until to share it with all of y'all first, and then I'll go ahead and share that on Facebook, and we can also send it by email. I'll have to probably do 2 separate emails because of how much memory it requires and stuff. But anyway, thank y'all very much.
We still have one more thing to do or so, but I was wondering if anybody would object to us getting Brian Wood up here again and going ahead and doing a live auction for that signed autographed mug by President and Barbara Bush. We said it was silent. Would that be all right?
Well, we've already got quite a few.
I'm coming in front of you.
$200 already. Do you want to start from there? Because you'll have to start from where I'm sorry.
I just want to know, does that seem fair to everyone, or, you know? No. Okay, Brian, do your thing.
And who has it at 200? Well, no, it's already at 200.
It is at 200? I thought you were kidding.
No, it's already at 200.
I don't know.
Oh, you have it at 200? It is at 200, right?
I'm going to get
I'm just glad you came. Thank you. Great.
Okay, so I hear we've got this beautiful mug up to $200 right now. Now you've heard the people and talk and stuff.
We're going to have to use your mic, honey.
Mike! Mike!
Yeah.
Attention hitter.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. So now that
I've been there. Nobody, would y'all please hang around?
okay, now we've got this mug. Everybody's seen it and heard the story of the family and all that and seen the pictures. This mug here is up to $200 on the bidding on this mug. Would anybody like to bid more than $200? Got a bid of $200. Does anybody want anything else? Does anybody else want to take it on? I hear bidding of $200. Going once. Going twice. Okay, sold for $200.
That goes to Doug McDougall.
Oh, and that, McDougall. We thank you for that. Give him a hand. Don't leave just yet. We got a couple more things. One of the things is that, you know, I think I'm going to go down in history as the grittiest president or Klan chief that y'all have ever had. It is customary for us to pass the hat. Kurt and I just think of a lot of ways to raise money so we can pay for this thing and keep it going. And do I have a cowboy who will give up his hat for a moment? Or a cap? Thank you. All right. Could you just start this around, Lisa? Just trying to make money in a lot of different ways. Shortly, he's going to come up and read off the names. Keith Ray. You're not going to hang around for your son's thing? Oh, well, I'm sorry this has kind of gone on a little longer than probably most of y'all had time for, but I thought...
I just want to let you all know that I fell in the ice, the last ice we had. I thought I would go ice skating, but it didn't work, so I had 3 broken bones in my right ankle.
And you're here to tell about it. My mother tried to ice skate once, and she broke her hip. That was in 2006. Nice to see you, Wanda. Okay. Keith, where's Mr. Keith?
Right behind me.
Okay, let's read off the names who bid the most for your wonderful products.
I do have bags for y'all to put your stuff in. And I've got a few boxes left, but I take it we're closed now. Bonnie? We're closed, we're good?
No, well, I have one more item of business and then we're good.
Do you want to do this now or later?
5 minutes left. Okay. Oh, we got a timekeeper, okay. Well, all I wanted to say really is that I don't want to conclude the meeting before I ask that if anybody wanted to bring anything up. I know that Laurie did, but she had to leave. She kind of wanted to put the A back into McDougall. What do you think, Kent? Put the A back in McDougall. Anyway, that was something that she wanted. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up, like to mention, or you know, I was talking about newest family members and births and Joe Vorpal, come up here. You have something to say. Did you not have a grandbaby?
Well, I'm Joe Vorpal, and I'm really not a McDougall except by marriage.
No,
but my husband Dwight and I have one child, and she just had a baby. So we have a 4-month-old grandson whose name is Maverick, and he's 4 months old today. And if you'd like to see a picture of him, we have plenty.
Really, I've never seen a picture of Maverick. Oh, we got a great grandson here by Patsy.
Yes, I'm Patsy Brody, and my grandson Scott on a good one in Houston have a new baby boy. He's born October 27th, so he's 6 months old. Noble Matthew Goodman, new great grandson.
Well, of course, my mother has something to say, but I'm proud of her too because I know this guy as well.
2 weeks ago, my grandson got married in Colorado Springs, and it was just a lovely wedding and a lovely reception, a fun reception, and the view was beautiful, and we got to, some of my nephews and nieces got to go with us. It was a very special day. So anyway, he is a doctor in his residency. He married a doctor, and she's going to take the Bartles' name. So I've got 3 Dr. Bartles in my immediate family. I think that's pretty good.
Okay, I know last year Kurt talked to me before the meeting about deaths that had occurred. There were like 5 last year. And he didn't tell me about that this year. Does anybody have any bad news to report, or you know, like graduations of new jobs, or Doug McDougall who bought the, yeah, you're a good man, Doug. Here.
My wife passed away January the 6th of this year.
Well, this is why we have family reunions, so that we can all celebrate or commiserize or grieve together, and we wish you the best. Anybody else have any kind of special event they want to say that went on in their lives? I'm broker than I've ever been. That's not really that cool, is it, though? Oh, well, it's a news item for me. Anybody else? Okay, then. If you have time to stay, we always like to try to take some group pictures. Kurt takes them, and I don't know where we're going to meet this time. Probably right out there. Sometimes we do it, you know, by the family, and then an overall picture. So if you have time to stay, we'd love to get you in a picture. But anyway, Mr. Spousto is going to play us out for a few more minutes, and I'd like to close with this thought, and thank you so much, so much for making the effort and the trip to come over here today. You don't stop laughing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop laughing. The end.